Hello and welcome to Carmela's Reading Corner.
I'm Carmela.
I'm Carmela and this is my mom, Tammy Pinwilio.
Hi.
And welcome to Carmela's Reading Corner. And today we're going to read a book called The Name Jar.
By Yangsook Choi.
By Yangsook Choi.
Some people have names that come from different cultures around the world. Carmela has another name too, and what's that?
Sun Kai Fei.
And it looks like that. That's how you write it in Mandarin. And it was given to her by her great-grandparents in Taiwan. There are a lot of sounds in different languages that might not be part of the English language, but it's important for us to learn how to pronounce other people's names, no matter where it comes from, as a sign of respect and honor. So we're gonna read the book together, and
that's kind of like the book we're gonna read today.
Yeah. You ready?
Yep.
All right, here we go.
Through the school window, Yoon-hye looked out at the strange buildings and houses on the way to her new school. It was her first day. She was both nervous and excited. You can be nervous when you're going to a new place, but exciting when you get to meet new friends.
It's true. She fingered the little block of wood in her pocket and remembered leaving her grandmother at the airport in Korea. Her grandmother had wiped away Yoon-hae's tears and handed her an ink pad and a small red satin pouch. "Your name is inside," she had said. "My name?" Yoon-hae had wondered. Again, she took out the red pouch to look at the wooden blocks with her name carved in it. As she ran her fingers along the grooves and ridges of the Korean characters, she pictured her grandmother's smile.
Is that thing for show and tell? A boy asked Yoon-hae, surprising her. Yoon-hae leaned over. Yoon-hae looked up as more kids leaned over. "No, it's mine," Yoon-hae answered, quickly putting the red pouch back into her pocket. Are you new here?" "What's your name?" a girl asked. "Yoon-hae," said Yoon-hae. "Ooh-hae?" the girl asked, scrunching up her face. Ooh-hae, some kids chanted. No, Yoon-hae corrected. It's spelled Unhei. It's Yoon. It's pronounced Yoon-hae. "Oh, it's you-hae," the boy said. "Like you, hey. What about hey you?" Just then, the bus pulled up to school, and the doors opened. Yoon-hae hurried to get off. "You-hae, bye-bye," the kids yelled as she left. Yoon-hae felt herself blush.
All the kids are talking to her on the bus.
What?
Nothing. Yoon-hae stood in the doorway of her new and noisy classroom. I'm going to put it over your head. She was relieved that the kids on the bus had gone to other rooms, but her face was still red. "Aren't you going in?" asked a curly-haired boy with lots of dots on his face.
They're called freckles.
"You're the new girl, right?" he asked cheerfully. Yoon-hae nodded, and before she could walk away, the boy took her hand and pulled her through the door. Here's the new girl, he announced so loudly that the teacher, Mr. Kokotos, almost dropped his glasses.
What?
Mr. Kokotos thanked him and greeted Yoonhae. Please welcome our newest student, he said to the class. She and her family just arrived from Korea last week. Yoonhae smiled broadly and tried not to show her nervousness. What's your name? Someone shouted. Here. Oh.
Did you know that I love to smile?
Come here.
Yoonhae pictured the kids on the bus. I haven't picked one yet, she told the class. But I'll let you know next week. As Mr. Kokotos showed her to her desk, she felt many round, curious eyes on her. Why does she have a name? She heard someone whisper. Maybe she robbed a bank in Korea and needs a new identity, the boy replied. They're trying to figure out her name.
Oops, there. On the bus home, nobody teased her, but Yoonhae kept thinking about her name. How was school, Yoonhae? Her mother asked when she walked in. Did you understand the teacher? Yoonhae simply nodded. She unpacked her school bag and set the red pouch by a photograph of her grandma. I'm glad you are learning English well, her mother said. You must study hard, behave nicely, and get good grades to show that you're a good Korean. I will, replied Yoonhae. But I think I would like my own American name, she said quickly. Her mother looked at her with surprise. Why? Yoonhae is a beautiful name. Your grandma and I went to a name master for it. But it's so hard to pronounce. Yoonhae complained. I don't want to be different from all the American kids. You are different, Yoonhae, her mother said. That's a good thing.
Yeah, it's a really, 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 really good thing.
Yoonhae just wrinkled her nose.
This is crunching your face.
Okay, this is for you.
Later that day, Yoonhae and her mother went grocery shopping in their new neighborhood. They passed Fadila's Falafel, Tony's Pizza, and Dot's Deli. A big graffiti-painted garbage truck roared like a lion as it took off down the street. Nothing sounded or looked familiar till they got to Kim's Market. The sign was both in English and Korean. Her mother picked up cabbage to make kimchi, Korean style spicy pickled cabbage, and other vegetables and meat. There also fell some seaweed, Yoonhae's favorite, for soup. It made Yoonhae smile. Just because we've moved to America, her mother said, doesn't mean we stop eating Korean food.
I love Korean food.
I love rice and kimchi. I'd really love to try it.
At the checkout counter, a friendly man smiled at Yoonhae. Helping your mother with the shopping, he asked. Yoonhae nodded. I'm Mr. Kim, he said. And what is your name? Yoonhae, she answered. Ah, what a beautiful name, he said. Doesn't it mean Grace? Yoonhae nodded again. My mother and grandmother went to a name master for it, she told him. A graceful name for a graceful girl, Mr. Kim said as he put their groceries into bags. Welcome to the neighborhood, Yoonhae.
I'm trying not to block the picture.
Thank you. Okay.
That evening, Yoonhae stood in front of the bathroom mirror. Hi, my name is Amanda, she said cheerfully. Then she wrinkled her nose. Hi, my name is Laura. Maybe not. Her smile turned down. Nothing sounded right. Nothing felt right. I don't think American kids will like me. she worried as she began to brush her teeth. Hi, my name is Susie, she said in the mirror with her mouth full of toothpaste. Mama, you do it.
Yeah.
It's funny.
The next morning, when Yoonhee arrived at school, she found a glass jar on her desk with some pieces of paper in it. Yoonhee took one out and read it aloud. Daisy. That's my baby sister's nickname, but she said you can use it if you want, said Cindy, who sat next to her. Yoonhee took out the rest of the paper. Tamala, she read. I got it from a storybook, said Nate.
That's kind of like that's part my name and my mom's name.
Yeah, that's like if Tammy and Carmela were put together. I got it from a storybook, said Nate. She was smart and brave. Yoonhee nodded and unfolded another piece. Wednesday? Yeah, you came here on Wednesday, said Ralph. Thank you for your help. A smile spread over Yoonhee's face. Ralph quickly said, we'll put more names in. You can pick whatever you like, or pick them all, and you'll have the longest name in history.
Okay. At 3:00, the bell rang for the end of school day. Yoonhee looked out the window and saw it was sprinkling. It's the same rain, she thought, but in a different place. She watched the other kids leaving in groups. Hey! A familiar voice called out to her. Yoonhee turned around to see the curly-haired boy. I'm Joey, he said. And you, don't you have any name? Yoonhee thought for a moment. Well, I can show you, she said, and took out the small red pouch. She pressed the wooden block on the ink pad and then stamped it on a piece of paper. This is my name stamp, she said. My grandma gave it to me and pass it to you.
This is my name stamp, she said. My grandma gave it to me. In Korea, I can use it as a signature when I open a bank account or write a letter. And whenever I miss, you're blocking the picture. And whenever I miss my grandma, I use it to fill a piece of paper. Want to try it? She offered the stamp to Joey, and he carefully inked the stamp and pressed it hard on the paper. The red characters gleamed against the whiteness. Wow, that's beautiful, Joey said. Can I keep the paper? Sure, Yoonhee said, and then the two of them shared her umbrella as they walked to the school bus. You see, that's her stamp, and that's her name in Korean.
Kind. Oh, sorry.
Every day, the jar got fuller with more names, and Yoonhee read them all. She found a few names she liked. Miranda, Stella, Avery. They sounded interesting. I hope you choose the name I put in, Marco told her at snack time. I've put in 3 more, said Ralph. Madison, Park, and Lex. They're my favorite street names. Maybe you should close your eyes and draw a name, Rosie suggested. Ralph frowned. That's silly. What if she doesn't like the name she draws? Well, we didn't get to choose our names when we were born, did we? Rosie argued. Everyone thought about this. Did you get to choose your name when you were born?
No, I did not.
You'll read the next page, okay?
But this has a T.
I know, but I read your page, and that's okay.
Oh.
When Yoonhee got home from school that day, her little brother ran to give her a letter. It was from her grandma. She opened it quickly. It said, To my Yoonhee, I hope you're enjoying your new school and new friends. Be sure to help your mother and your little brother. Here the moon is up, but there the sun is up. No matter how far apart we are, and no matter how different America is from Korea, you'll always be my Yoonhee, your grandma forever. Yoonhee took out her wooden stamp and filled the paper with it. She thought for a long time in front of the bathroom mirror. And that's her little brother. And that's the letter from her grandma.
Yep.
I'm going to read half the page, okay? Actually, you start.
On Saturday, Yoonhee looked at me.
Can't hear you.
Yoonhee walked to Mr. Kim's store. Mr. Kim was helping a customer, but he looked up and greeted her. Hey, the customer said, turning around. It was Joey. Your name is Yoonhee? He said with his eyes open wide. Yoonhee looked quickly at Mr. Kim and then turned to Joey. She nodded slowly. Yes, it's pronounced Yoonhee. And it means grace, Mr. Kim added. Yoonhee. Joey said slowly and this time perfectly.
It made Yoonhee smile. I'll have it ready for you tomorrow, said Mr. Kim to Joey. Thank you, Mr. Kim. See you Monday, Yoonhee, Joey said to her. He left before she could ask him why he was at the store.
Why is he at the store? Look how messy they are.
Here.
Oh, on Monday, Yoonhee came to class early to look at the names one last time. But the jar wasn't on her desk. Instead, there was just a single piece of paper. When I slipped it into her pocket. Where's her name jar? Rose asked as soon as he saw it was gone. I don't know, Yoonhee said. It wasn't on Mr. Kokodo's desk or on any other desk. It wasn't on the counters or any of the shelves. As soon as other kids arrived, they helped look. Soon, Mr. Kokotos came in and Ralph shouted at him, "The name jar is gone!" Gone? Mr. Kokotos replied with a look of concern. Yes, Yoonhee, did you get a chance to read all the names? Yoonhee nodded. She took a breath. I'm ready to introduce myself, she said. Oh, I read your name.
That's okay. Can I read this one too?
No.
Okay. Yoonhee wrote her name in both English and Korean on the chalkboard. I like the beautiful names and funny names you thought of for me, she told the class, but I realized that I liked my name. There it is.
See?
I liked my name best, so I chose it again. Korean names mean something. Yoonhee means grace. Grace! Grace Inhai, shouted Ralph. Everyone tried to say it. Inhai, Uni, Unhei. Yoonhee said her name again slowly and clearly.
Yoonhee.
Soon the kids began to say it better, even Mr. Kokotos. They applauded Yoonhee's choice. I was named after a flower, Rosie whispered to Yoonhee. Lots of American names have meanings too, Mr. Kokotos reminded everyone. When the class was dismissed, Yoonhee heard her new friends say goodbye. Bye, Yoonhee. See you tomorrow. Goodbye, Yoonhee. Yoonhee said goodbye and then looked around for Joey, but he was already gone. Yoonhee, come downstairs. Mother called up to Yoonhee. Your friend is here. Yoonhee rushed down to see who she meant. There stood Joey, and in his arms was the name jar. Where did you find it? Asked Yoonhee breathlessly. Joey looked embarrassed. Well, I took it. But only because I wanted you to keep your own name, and you did. He reached in and pulled out the names. Do you want to keep them? He asked. Thank you. I'll keep them as a souvenir, Yoonhae said happily. Then she pulled out the piece of paper from her pocket. Do you want this back? Joey grinned. You can keep it. I'll return the name jar to the class. Maybe you could put some Korean nicknames in it for us. Names with good meanings. I could do that, agreed Yoonhae. I've already got a Korean nickname, Joey said. Mr. Kim helped me choose it.
That's why he is at the store. Carefully, he pulled a small silver belt pouch from his pocket, then took out a dark wooden stamp with beautiful Korean characters carved into it, sharply into it. He pressed it on the ink pad and then on the piece of paper next to her name, Jinko. Read Yoonhae, that means friend, and Jinko smiled back.
That was really nice.
I hope you like the book.
Yeah. So names are part of, each person's identity, and it's not something that you should be expected to change to make it more convenient for people to say. To understand, yeah. It's other people's responsibility, and it's a way to like honor and respect someone's culture and identity as a person, to learn how to properly pronounce it. And it's okay to ask, can you please say it again slowly? Or, ask them to say it again, or maybe write it out if they're able to. But yeah, names are really important for us to learn. So we hope you like that book, and we hope you have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.